Hey, welcome to Thak's. Today we're going to talk about finger gauntlets. And in this video we are going to show the basic templating for designing and starting a pair of finger gauntlets. So anyway, gauntlets are very cool. People really like them because they move on your hand. It's a very animated thing. Historically, I'm skeptical at the actual function of finger gauntlets. They're complicated when you're trying to grip a weapon, which is a very specific thing. To have the mobility to do that and to have something that actually has protection, I'm just skeptical about how often finger gauntlets were used. When I look at historical pieces, I more often see things like mitten gauntlets. This is a clamshell version here. And that's something that seems to be a little bit more practical. Having steel go around each individual finger just makes for mobility issues, but you certainly can't deny the look, and people often like to have them just for the sheer drama of having a finger gauntlet. So we're going to start developing that. You can see I've got various designs here. Before I take this one off here, I should just talk about some of the ideals for a finger gauntlet. What you want to have is lateral movement across the hand. You want to be able to move on the wrist. You want to be able to hinge back so that you can get an approximate movement of what your hand can do. And so what we achieve this using sliding rivets, and we'll get into that later in the process, and also forming of the knuckle rider, which is the piece that covers the knuckles and allows for the movement to be able to clench your fist. In addition to that, there's some sort of vam plate which becomes the back of the forearm and covers the end part of the gauntlet there. So I'm just going to take that off. So I can show you a couple other pieces. So you can see I've got various pieces from my rental collection here, just pieces that I've made over the years. And you can see they're similar, but they're various designs. What's most noticeable often on most of them is the cup. This is one that I've been working on for about 10 years and never seemed to get much farther on it. This is one that covers the entire back of the hand. It goes all the way up to the elbow, which I think is a very cool looking effect. So we can go back right to basics here. This is just something that covers the back of the hand and kind of gives you an idea of the very core of what finger gauntlets start from. So there's a piece there, and then from there, these half gauntlets was something that was used transitional plate armor, where the fingers were so exposed you'd be wearing a leather glove there, but something that gave protection to the back of the hand and something to the wrist. As time went by, they started adding articulating plates, became more complicated, and as we get into the 1400s, we get into the high Middle Ages where plate armor became quite sophisticated and gave you maximum mobility, and it was really the height of the armorer's achievement. By around 1500 is when we really reached its peak. So what we're looking at is finger gauntlets, typically somewhere around 1450 to 1550 is usually when I see them. That's about the era that we're looking at. So that is kind of the basic design that we're going with here. So to start this, we're just going to do some templating. I'm just going to show you the process for how that works. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate templating here, and I'm going to do this at a breakneck speed. I'm not going to be being very meticulous as far as how it happens. I just want to show you what the basic process is, and then you can develop your own templates from there. So essentially what I want to do is develop a piece that covers the back of the hand. So I just kind of traced my hand there, and then blew it up a little bit. I'm just going to cut that out. Over the years of armoring, I've come to the point where most of my templates I keep very vague, because usually I'll start shaping the piece, and as the piece becomes moves from 2 dimensions to 3 dimensions, a lot of things present themselves as far as final shape, and I will just trim as I go so that I can get a better fit. Trying to figure something out in 2 dimensions, a flat template, and then hoping that it's going to end up your finished product in 3D usually doesn't work that well. So this is just giving me essentially what the back of the hand looks like in one piece. I'm going to get my coverage in there. Okay, covers the side of the hand, covers over the knuckles there, maybe a little bit too much. I'm going to pull that down. You can see that it's wider here than it is here because your hand is wider here than it is here. And everything overlaps slightly. I've got a piece coming out to the thumb there just to give me an idea of where things are going. So I want to do laminations here, and I think I'll probably do 3 laminations across the back to give some more movement in there, to give that lateral movement. So we got this piece here, so I'm going to trace out another one. Now, the thumb piece is going to be separate, so I'm going to remove that now. That is our basic starting point. Knuckles are going to be in there. So what I want to do is develop radiating lines. I'm going to do 3 lines coming down to the wrist. And then based on that, get some scallops in there for decorative shape. Also, I'm going to make some ears at the side there where the rivet will go. This gives it a little bit better mobility of the rivet placement where the pivot point is. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. You'll see. At this point you might want to start labeling them, and I often will just do runic symbols on it just for something funky and cool. Those are your 3 pieces there. Top piece is complete the way it's going to look. This piece needs a piece added to it, so what we do is actually take this, trace it out, and we add on where the overlap is going to be. So I'm going to add about 1/2 inch there. We may trim that back as we get into it, but that will give us some room there. And that was that symbol. And then we do the same to the last lamination. Okay, so I've got my 3 pieces roughed out now. We're just going to layer them on top of each other and just see how that is looking as far as our original shape there, what it's covering. I think that's doing pretty good, but I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of trimming on these pieces just to get down. I don't want too much bulking up in the back of the hand there, so I want to refine it a little bit. Much as I can dare. So you can see the pieces are wider on the inside of the hand, to the thumb side of the hand, and narrower on your pinky side there. So you've got 3 banana-shaped pieces that basically follow that configuration. So that is the basic metacarpal area of the gauntlets. So the next step would be to transfer these to steel and actually shape these. I won't do any further cardboard templating until I've got that back of the hand plate in actual steel, and then start templating paper templates off of that. But that will be the next video. So thanks for joining us, and stay tuned. We will go through this in a series of videos to get to a finished finger gauntlet. So thanks for coming out. See ya.